I just finished my first half marathon. Here's what you need to know. I'm Jesse with Calasthetics. Just running out here trying to get people to get moving, of course, and I just finished my first ever half marathon race in Staten Island. So I'm trying to get into the 2025 New York City Marathon, and in order to do that, you need to qualify by 3 ways. 1, running a sub 3-hour marathon. 2, getting in with a nonprofit organization. Or number 3, which I personally think is the hardest method of all, is doing 10 races in 1 year in New York City. Now, pre-race, what you need to know is you have to know the course. Lucky enough for me, I have some family in Staten Island, so what we did was we went out to eat. I was nice and calm the day before, had no nerves, I had a bed to sleep in, and we finally at night drove to the course. It was 35 minutes from their house, and I thought Staten Island was very tiny. No, it was nice and big. So you need to pick up your race bib in Manhattan. You have to pick it up in New York City within the week before. Now, if you do it the day of, you're gonna be in line for a long time. So let's just say I didn't pick up my race bib in New York City the day before. I would have had to get there at least an hour before to get this bib. At least an hour. Like 7 o'clock, race starts at 8 a.m. for me. At 7 o'clock sharp. All right. Also, before the race, get there early no matter what. I got there at 7:30 and there was no parking within 7 blocks. So I literally at the last spot at 7:48, I jogged down to where I thought the course started, and nope, I had to go through metal detectors and tons of different lines before I got to the first corral, which started at 8:01 a.m. sharp. So that is definitely the pre-race guide. You have to get there early and just know where you're supposed to be. I unfortunately thought I knew where I was supposed to be, but I got really thrown off when I saw the metal detectors and all those things. So the race started for me at 8 a.m. because from my previous 10K, I achieved my goal of under 45 minutes, and they put you in a time for a different corral or group for where you're gonna start. So there was A to F, and I was lucky enough to be in A, or technically I was in C, so I was in Group A, Part C, and it still left around 8 to 8:10, and you had to fly. So middle of the race, as soon as you get to the starting line, they take their time with you. Do not go out too early. The person on the microphone's hyping you up, and it takes a few extra minutes. Do not get too bouncy. Don't rip your caffeine gel too early. It probably should have started a little bit earlier, but he was a good dude and everybody was excited. Middle of the race, as we were running, you are greeted by tens of thousands of fans. There are fans everywhere supporting you, cheering you on, DJs, music, and it's incredible. It was honestly the best feeling. I've done 2 marathons, tons of trail races, tons of small 5Ks. This was the most electrifying race with all the fans by far. Staten Island, you were awesome. Second biggest thing you need to realize during the middle of the race, how many aid stations and gel stations there are. So at the aid stations, there's the water and Gatorade, amazing. Every mile or mile and a half, there was a gel station too, where they were giving out cyst gels and gels for you to eat, or drink, I should say, that were awesome. And during my race, I took 4 of these. Lucky enough, I had them in my pocket, but if I didn't have them, they had these exact ones. So definitely check before you run a race if they have aid stations and gel stations for sure, because I was shocked that they had all those gel stations. It was incredible. So between the gels and the fans, you're gonna have enough adrenaline to finish that race. So we just talked about the beginning of the race and the middle of the race, and now we're gonna talk about the end, or what I would consider mile 10 through 13. From mile 10 to 13 is the hardest part of any of the half marathon for sure. Not only was it uphill, but it was under the Verrazano Bridge, which was incredible, and there was a little less fans. Don't give up, because as soon as you get around 11 and 12, after you pass that bridge, there's tons of people ready to greet you. So you just gotta grind at least 1.5 miles without some fans. After that, once you finish the finish line, there's gonna be tons of people taking pictures of you, tons of medals that they gave out for the half marathon, and picture stations. So make sure to get your picture for your hard work and to be shown everywhere, and of course some bragging rights if you PR'd that day. After that, there's no ferry, there's a ferry, there's no bus, there's no congratulations for more than, that was crazy. There's no congratulations, no bus, no taxi to take you to your car. You gotta find your car, and that was a race in itself. I probably walked for an extra 35 minutes after PRing my half marathon. So please make sure you don't do what I did and find or take a picture of where you parked and take a note of where it is, because that last part of the finish was so tough. I was walking on an incline of like 1,000 trying to find my car. So please make sure when you finish that race you know where to park, and make sure you get those pictures, because it was an electrifying day, an event, and even if you didn't PR that day, make sure you get your pictures so you just remember how hard you work in order to finish a half marathon. So we did the pre-race, middle of the race, and end of the race. Now we're going to talk about the post-race reflection. So I don't regret any of my paces during the race. I started off hot and I ended off hot. That's what it was about. Once I got there, I parked. So one of the things I would reflect on is that when I got there 30 minutes early, it wasn't soon enough. I highly recommend getting there 45 minutes to an hour early. The website does suggest an hour to 45, which I should have done, but since I went there the night before, I truly thought I was gonna have tons of spots to park. I really didn't think 10,000 people were gonna park on the street. There was 2 garages, there was a ferry that took people. No, get there super early. That is definitely the biggest thing I reflected on, because having that anxiety of not knowing where to park is never fun. However, on the other side, when I started the race, the first 3 miles, I wasn't looking at my watch. All I kept thinking was, please don't tell me, please don't tell me. So that was a huge thing that I thought about, which might be my new go-to when I'm running, just to park and run. Maybe I should make that a t-shirt and slogan. Number 2, make sure you definitely double check how much water and Gatorade and gels they're gonna provide. I typically run in a belt, which I love. However, for a half marathon, I didn't love feeling it right under my tummy when I was running super fast. I was going much faster than my typical marathon. And I didn't say I disliked having the belt on, but I wouldn't say it was optimal, because sometimes I was like, all right, if I did throw down the water bottles, I probably could have picked up a tiny bit of speed. Nothing crazy, but like, you know, it's just like you feel it, and it's like, all right, I don't need the water, because they were full. My water bottles were 8 ounces full to the top, and it, you know, sometimes you hear it a little too much and it's not what you needed, because I could have easily went to one of the 8 stations and just grabbed a cup and chugged it down. I did provide myself with 4 of these gels, so I would pack these again in my pockets because they fit nice and easy. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would reflect on bringing a belt or a vest. I saw a ton of people just holding the water bottle, and I think that's something I might try for next time. Besides that, the 2 biggest reflections really would be getting there early and losing the belt. Besides that, had an awesome time. If you want to watch more running videos, fitness educational videos, make sure you throw me a follow, hit that bell button. And of course, I'm Jesse with Calasthetics, and just want to help you get moving. If you've been following me for a year, comment below what you want to see next. If you want a super shoe review video coming up next, an updated one, an updated cane shoe review video next, whatever it is that is fitness related, running related, whatever you want to see next, comment below and I'll try to make it happen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course, get moving.